Hey, friends. So, welcome to our podcast one more time, episode number 2. Um, I'm going to go ahead and start it off this time. And I want to start it off by just letting you guys know that we have come up with a name.
And the name is?
Hold on, I'm looking up because I actually looked up the dictionary definition. So, the dictionary definition is used in reference to one's deepest feelings of love or compassion. I'm not going to say the name yet, but that is a dictionary definition. And the reason why we chose this name was because that's kind of like what we want to do. We want to express like love and compassion and, you know, tug at your heartstrings. Shoot, I just said the name.
Nice.
So
yes,
the name is Heartstrings. Is it Heartstrings or Heartstring?
Heartstrings Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. So we received a lot of names, a lot of really good names. We couldn't really, figure out which one was best.
There was like a lot of, the ones we received, like we really liked all of them.
Yeah. We
were trying to, pick something that was unique and that also conveyed the message that we're trying to give off. Mm-hmm. So, that's, anybody that, gave us suggestions. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And we loved every single one of them. We just, went along and went with, followed our heart with this one.
Yeah. And most of the names that we got kind of led us closer to the name we wanted. We heard one name, oh, that's a great name. And then we heard a second name, like, oh, how will we mix this? Or, oh, I like the definition of this. Let's look it up. And then how this little by little, we just started drifting in the actual name. And then
that all just happened yesterday. So we posted about it yesterday. And then today we just, I was texting Mario and I was like, how about this one? And then he's like, I love it. And I'm like, I do too. Okay, we're set.
Yeah, and this recording is literally a day after our first podcast.
Yeah.
We want to build at least a good 4 to 5 episodes, have content ready and, before we drop the first episode.
Yeah, it seems like there's quite a few friends and family that are excited and waiting for us to, to hear us talk about our relationship and everything that we have to talk about. And we're super grateful for that. And we do want to apologize because we just kind of went out with the news and then, we haven't dropped anything yet. And by the time you hear this, you already heard the first one. But we just want to be, super thankful and apologize that we just, haven't really dropped anything. But we're waiting to, pick out the name. We have a logo in the works.
Yep.
So yeah, we're just waiting on all the little details.
But yeah, so by the time that you're already listening to this, you already know the logo and all. And then just today I finished recording the intro song, the theme song to this.
Oh yeah, that was another thing that we were, kind of debating on.
So we had one that was really nice, but we just couldn't really fit it into the intro. It was just, there's no space for editing and fading out. It was real hard. And this one was real good too, but it made it easier for me to edit it and, insert it into.
This was our second choice.
Yeah, it's second choice. But it's a good song. I like at least the theme, the beat to it.
It's nice.
But yeah, so we did that in literally 2 minutes right before recording. I saved it into the Rodecaster and here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the pretty much the subject on this podcast
so today's episode, we're going to be talking about birth control and pregnancies and stuff. So we're going to be talking about birth control because yesterday we just I kind of had yesterday was our first recording, but we didn't talk about it because we wanted to do an introduction. So we decided to, go ahead and do one today and talk about this. And yesterday was kind of I was feeling very emotional. Yeah, it was a little emotional. I don't know where all the feelings came from, but I was feeling a little emotional. So after our daughter was born, we decided to get on kind of like a long-term birth control method. And I was on the IUD. the 5-year IUD. And after 5 years or nearly 5 years of having it inserted, I did go to the gynecologist. I think that's what they're called. I went to the women's clinic to get it removed, and I was advised by my doctor that the 5-year IUD actually lasts 7 years. So she just advised that I take advantage of like the full length of the effect of it, and that way I didn't have to like take it off and then put another one or whatnot. So I did that, and fast forward to 2 years.
Which
there's other reasons why I kept it, and I'll get into that. But fast forward 2 years. Yesterday I had my appointment to remove it, and I've always known that I want to have a big family. I was an only child until the age of 11. It was just me and my mom for a very long time, and then my mom met my sister's father, and she had my sister, and I always wanted a sibling to play with. I wanted to grow up with, and fight with. I guess that's what I see my kids doing. So I wanted that, and I didn't have that. But when my sister was born, when my mom told me that my sister was on the way, I was super excited. And when she was born, I actually took more of a caretaker role than, sibling. I took more of a motherly role instead, which was fine. Anywhere I went, she came with me. And so because I always grew up very lonely, I knew that I wanted to. I need some water.
You knew you wanted to have a big family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of joked around. I think I've said it to many people. I've joked around and I've said I'm going to have 5 kids because I'm thinking about my future. And my future is when I'm a grandmother. If I have 5 kids and every single one of my children has 2 kids of their own, I'm going to be in grandma heaven, and I'm going to have 10 grandkids, so, and then if they have 3, that's even better. I'm just going to have a whole daycare to myself, so I've always joked around, but there's some truth behind it. And Mario and I had, talked about it, and there was a while when we were set on just 2 kids. And the reason being was because there's complications that are involved with like my pregnancies. I have a family history of diabetes, and when I'm pregnant, I get something called gestational diabetes, which is, during my pregnancies, I have diabetes, then it's gone away after, which, based on what I've been told medically, it's a sign that in the future, I might get it, and
it might just linger around, right?
Like say after you have the baby, and that's what happened to my mom. My mom had diabetes. Like they detected it when she was pregnant with my sister, and I remember how much she had it a little more severely than I had it with both of the kids. She actually had to inject insulin every day to her belly. I think she was doing it. I actually controlled it with a pill. I can't remember the name of the pill, but I actually controlled it with the pill and dieting and exercise, and that's how I kept my sugars under control. And I did a pretty good job, so I was pretty proud of myself.
You actually did a really great job. Not a good job. You did a great job. You were very, focused. You were very dedicated, and it's just kind of, amazing to see how,
I didn't take it lightly,
Yeah, of course. But I think it also had a lot to do with, your excitement of having a kid and being healthy for our baby, I can just see your motherly instinct right off the bat. He wasn't even born, but you had that already. And it was really great to see.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just I wanted to make sure that even though that was kind of a factor of my pregnancy, I wanted to make sure that I did everything humanly possible to make sure that my child would, have a healthy start to his life. And same thing with our daughter. Like, I wanted to make sure that she had a healthy start to her life. And it was no longer, about me. It was never about me. Like, during my pregnancy, it was never about me. Just taking care of myself was never about, oh, I need to be healthy. No, it was I need to keep my child safe. So it was about the babies.
Yeah.
So yeah, we and then other reasons, like I said, why we decided to keep it for an extra 2 years. At the time, we were living in our 1-bedroom apartment, and when we signed our lease to rent out the apartment, we signed the lease with 4 occupants, and we were told that only 4 occupants. And I remember, I want to say they even told us, like, don't have any more babies, like, don't bring any more people in here.
Yeah, it was funny when we were signing the contract. The guy, I forgot his name.
Eric.
Yeah, Eric. I remember we were signing the contract, and he read that part, like, oh, this occupancy is for 4 occupants, so and he's like, only 4, no more.
No more babies.
Like, yeah, he didn't say no more babies, like no more, kind of saying, like,
I thought he did say no more babies.
But I remember we made eye contact. It's like for 4 occupants.
The kids were like running around at the time. We're signing the papers, and the kids were in his office just running around, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think we plan to have any more.
Yeah, I mean, and they were still kind of young. I remember Aiden was like rolling over on the floor. I'm like, bro, like, you never do this. Why are you doing this right now in front of this guy before we're signing the contract? But I remember, the guy.
He even did that when we went to see the apartment. He never did stuff like that. It's like when we went to go see the apartment, it wasn't just us seeing it. It was like a open house kind of thing. So it was like other people, they went to go see it too. So it was like 3 or 4 families in this little 1-bedroom apartment. It wasn't that little. I feel like it was kind of spacious.
It was spacious. It was, we had plenty of room.
Yeah, it was spacious. And he's like rolling on the floor, like, dude, they're never gonna rent us the apartment. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's so that's kind of why we decided to I decided at the moment when I was at the clinic to just keep it, and we'd see where life would take us. But saying, with that being said, we have been talking about growing our family. For a while we decided, okay, 1 more, and then I just I was just like, I'll just sneak in the 4th. It's okay. And then I kind of like I kind of convinced Mario. Right now speaking, we're only thinking about the 3rd that we may go for, and the 4th, it might, we might. I convinced Mario. He said, okay, we could have 4, and then that's when I was like, okay, fine, I'll sneak in the 5th.
God damn.
And then I'm sure I'll convince him with the 5th, and then I'll just sneak in the 6th. So I do want a big family. I want, I'm just like so blessed with how, they're not super close. They're 3 years apart, our children. But I'm so blessed with just watching them like grow together and play together and take care of each other, because they take care of each other. And it's like, I don't know. I love that. I love watching them. It's just like everything I didn't have growing up. It's just like, another thing was like you just watching them with you. I've always told you this. It's like, it's like living. I grew up without my dad in my life, and just seeing them with you, it's like living it's like living through that,
Yeah.
and I just see the love they have for you, the love you have for them, and how, they have their father in their life. And it's just like, to me, that's like, it completes me.
Yeah. And I do want to make it clear, you did not convince me to have another kid. I want to have a kid.
I had to beg. I got on my knees. I was like, please.
Liar. No, well, with me, honestly, I haven't always been like I'm not a only child. I do have my sister, and with my family in particular, we had a big family. So we had a bunch of cousins, and of course, with a bunch of cousins, you have a lot of parties. So, I grew up with a lot of, kids around. So I know how it feels to have like a big family, going to parties, having fun. So yeah, I mean, I've always been around like, big parties of family. So yeah, I kind of have like, I know how it feels, and I was never really not into having a big family. I think with one of my struggles, it was always like, concern wise is like, of course, money. Kids are expensive, babies are expensive. And, with Pookie, with Aiden, it was kind of hard on us, financially, because we
were young.
Yeah, we're a bunch of kids.
We had him when we were 20 years old. It's just, I was working at a coffee shop. You were working at McDonald's.
As a manager, making a little bit more than minimum wage.
I think you were like at $9,
no,
$8.
I think it was like at $8.25.
I think I was making more than you. I was making like $9,
yeah.
And then,
but I was like more. I was working more hours, so our checks were almost evened out, or maybe I had a little more. But you had like literally a part time.
Yeah, I was literally working like 20 hours because I was also going to school at the time. Yeah. I was going to Contra Costa College.
So yeah, I mean, we were a bunch of kids. First kid, it was kind of hard on us. We did have the support of your mom at one point, and my mom as well. But it was hard financially, and that kind of like put me in shock, because I mean, I was in love with my son. I was loving it. The father life was real good, but then the financial, the adult part, the adult growing up thing, it was kind of hard on us. So when we had Adi, I was like freaking out. I was scared.
I'm going to share that part.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of...
When I got pregnant with Adi, it was like a complete shock. We were not planning it. It was like we were using protection, and then it was that one time that we were not careful, and here she comes. And you said what?
I got it like that. That one time. What?
Whatever. So, after I missed my period, after that, I took a pregnancy test, and sure enough, I was pregnant. And I remember telling Mario, and he swears left and right that it wasn't like that, but he stopped talking to me for 3 days. Like,
I did say that. I just okay. Maybe it wasn't like 3 days. Like, I was ignoring you.
No, you ignored me for 3 days. You did not even look at me. Yeah. Like you. It's just like you were in such shock.
Yeah, I was.
You just like, you didn't want to talk about it. You didn't want to look at me. It was like you would just come in and out the house, like to go to work and come back, and then do your thing, and you didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, no,
I even, I hate to say it, but during those 3-day period, I considered abortion.
Yeah, no, I know in it, and it's kind of like we spoke about it like years later. I mean, well, we did talk about it, during your pregnancy, of course. But I mean, like years later, once, the kids were older, we were like kind of watching them, we kind of brought it up again, like how hard it was on you, my reaction in particular. But, I always try to, during that conversation, I try to express to you, like, it wasn't that I didn't want another, baby. It wasn't that I wasn't happy. I was thrilled. But then it was also like a fear, I saw how much we struggled with Aiden, how hard it was on both of us, not just financially, emotionally, our relationship, was kind of rocky because, it's a baby, he's crying left and right 24/7, and it's, it's draining, and I can see it in your face.
He was actually like, Adi was a lot more calmer than him. Like he used to, I guess, having the first child and like experiencing what we experienced with like you said, him crying all the time. Like he literally cried all the time. Like I remember there was this one time where I could not get him to come down. So when you came home from work, we just put him in the baby carrier, like in the carrier that somebody had given us. And we're like, maybe he just needs some fresh air. Let's go take him for a walk. So we just got out the house and we went for a walk. Like literally the entire walk, that boy screamed his lungs out. Like he would not shut up. Yeah. And I was like, is he in pain? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I mean, that's not being experts at, parents. There was nothing wrong with him.
I think he needed a burp.
Did he throw up? Like he spit
No, he
up
didn't
afterwards?
throw. He just burped. I think, yeah.
I guess he was having like tummy aches.
Yeah, but I mean, we tried everything. I just think we weren't trying long enough
to burp him.
Yeah, long enough. But yeah, so going back to the subject is like, I expressed to you like, I'm sorry. I kind of fucked it up.
You better be sorry.
Yeah, I'm still sorry. Like, I still like look back at it and like, there's no doubt in my mind that I didn't want a baby. I did want a baby. It was a shock, and I admit that my reaction wasn't the best. But, I would have, now that you talk about abortion, I would have never let you abort, Addie. And I'll be honest, like, it's a blessing, Yeah, we were shocked and I was shocked, but, we went
I was kind of happy because, I always kind of, right after Aiden, I was like, I want to have babies that are close together. Like, I don't want to wait 10 years before I have my second one. Like, my mom did. I mean, of course, she didn't have a partner when I was growing up. And then she met, my sister's dad when I was like 9 or something like that. So it makes sense why, we had such a big age gap, why we have such a big age gap, me and my sister. But yeah, I was happy and I wanted to share that joy with you, and you didn't want anything to do with me at the time, and that was really hurtful. It was super hurtful.
Yeah, and that was one of our tough obstacles that we had to overcome. And
I mean, we just needed to talk about it. I think, like I said, it lasted 3 days. After those 3 days, he finally came around, and we sat down and we talked about it, and you expressed yourself, and then you said, well, we'll be all right. We'll figure it out. And since then, we've been figuring it out.
Yeah, along the way, we've gotten little pushes here and there, but. Not bad pushes, like hey, you can do this, move forward, but
it's like the universe always kind of like pushes us like, oh, here you go, here's a tough situation, figure it out. And we always figure it out.
And it's more like, figure it out because I know you can do it, because we're always doubting ourselves for whatever reason. But yeah, we with Adi's pregnancy, I feel like, you were, really happy. We were walking a lot, we were like very involved. It was very, very awesome. Honestly.
I even took a pregnancy,
the 3D,
labor, a class where like we sat in a class with other pregnant girls. It was like 4 or 5 of us, I think. I have some of them as friends on Instagram and stuff. I see their daughters. I think most of us had daughters. I think there was one of them who had a little boy. And I see them and they're all grown up. It's crazy that, we were all in that together. But, it was a really nice experience to go through. Even though I had to struggle with the gestational diabetes, I feel like that actually, made me feel more strong. Like I was being healthy. I was, exercising. I wasn't laid up in bed, eating all the snacks that I wanted to because I couldn't. And I think that just made me stronger. And I don't know, during the pregnancies, like, especially with Adi, like, I just felt so strong. And like, I just felt like I could do anything. Yeah. Like, and it was like, I was at work pulling like pallets, like large pallets, and pregnant, so what?
Yeah. And not kind of touching back on that, I remember this one time, because you were working at IKEA at the moment. You know, you're working for IKEA food. I remember that one time I went to visit, I saw you pulling pallets, you know, like, I mean, it wasn't huge pallets, but you had a pallet jack and you were pulling and you were putting in work. You know, I approached you little by little and I can see it in your face. You were sweaty, you know, you were working. So a lot of those, you know, people like, oh, I need a chair because I'm pregnant. Like, no, it's just a mentality because you were, you know, you were in it, like you were working, you know, you not give up. And that's also part of like, you know, I want to take those extra steps. And
well, I mean, I did that. I mean, I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for the diabetes, I probably would, you know, have taken it a little lighter and, you know, I don't know, set down a little more. I don't know, try to relax through it. But the fact that I had to maintain a healthy sugar levels and stuff, it just pushed me to, you know, keep moving. Like I can't stop. I have to move because I have to control my insulin. Like I have to do this.
yeah, because you would like, you know, even calculate, oh, if I eat this, then I have to maybe walk around or move around for this amount of time.
I mean, even like at home, like even if I was not at work, if I was at home, is that okay? I just had my meal. I'm not going to sit down for the next hour because you have to like check your blood sugar an hour after you eat. So I'm not going to sit down for that whole hour. I'm going to make the bed. I'm going to put clothes away. I'm going to make sure that I am like, I stay moving. Like I keep moving. And then when the hour hits, I'm going to check. And, you know, I did my thing. I kept it under control. And then there was times where I was just like, I would try to indulge a little more on things. And I would, you know, be extra hard on myself. Like, I need to walk. I need to go outside and go for a walk right now.
And around the time we had Juicy, the dog, and Cosita. So like, let's go for a walk around.
That was with Aiden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Juicy was not.
Oh yeah,
Juicy passed away when Aiden was little.
But we would take those walks. You know, if you would indulge in something, we would go to the park over there by the marina. You know, just walk around.
I know. With Pookie's, one of the most memorable things that I, you know, have with Pookie's pregnancy. I remember this one morning I was craving tamales, and you took me to Oakland because you knew a really good place in Oakland where, you know, there was some really good tamales, and I was like, okay, let's go to Oakland. So we go to Oakland, and you know, tamales are it's just, you know, masa. It's just a bunch of carbs. I don't know how many I had. I probably had like one.
You probably had one. Yeah,
I probably had like one. And then we actually drove back from Oakland, and we went to the Point Richmond to it's called we know it as Point Richmond, but it has a name. Keller Beach Park.
Is it Miller Knox?
Miller Knox, something like that. Yeah. So we went to the Point Richmond Park, and we parked there. We ate our tamales, and then we got out the car as soon as we were done, and we walked around. We walked that shit off, and then by the time I had to, you know, test my blood, I was fine. But, you know, I would push myself. If I wanted to eat something that I knew was going to not be so great for my body, I was going to work it off afterwards. Yeah. That was my mentality, my strategy and stuff.
So what is the plan now with no IUD or whatever you call it?
Well, back to me being emotional.
So we almost not made the podcast from yesterday because you were pretty emotional.
Yeah, I actually, right after my appointment, we got on the freeway, and I didn't think I was going to be emotional. Like, I remember crying, and I didn't even know where that was coming from. So we got on the freeway, and I think I said something. I don't even remember. I said a word. I said something, and then I just started crying. Like, it was just waterworks. And I was kind of embarrassed. I mean, you've seen me cry like a million times. What are you looking at?
Sorry, I was looking at your shirt. So I got mesmerized by the shirt.
I was like, what the heck are you looking at?
I've never paid attention. It's like a sunflower and then the
and
butterflies on the side.
Butterflies,
like, holy, I've never seen it like that.
I got it on Shein.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shout out to Shein.
I love Shein. Anyway, so I was kind of embarrassed. Like I think I even like covered my face because I was kind of embarrassed. I'm like I really didn't know where these emotions were coming from. And you know, he was kind of like I think you were kind of like nervously laughing. And you
I
know,
thought it was very cute because I knew exactly why you were crying. Like,
okay, tell me, why was I crying?
well, it's very complex. It's a very complex, question because there was a lot of things going through your head,
Yeah.
and it just knowing how you are and who you are, I knew maybe if not all of them, most of the concerns you had. You were nervous, you were excited, and you were scared.
Yeah.
I can see it in your face without you telling me, but I can sense it and I can feel it. And I thought it was cute. Like, like you're like a little girl crying over nothing, but it's just,
bitch.
I mean, if you want to say that, it's okay, but I'm not saying it. I'm just saying. But I can see it in your face. I knew instantly what was going on. And it was kind of like, I know you kind of laugh. It's kind of cute kind of laugh. And, you kind of silly for this kind of laugh. So it was a little bit of
What?
When I was smiling or laughing. It wasn't like I wasn't making fun of you, but
no, I
was
didn't feel like you were
types
making fun of me. I feel like you were kind of nervously laughing. Maybe you just didn't know what the hell's going on with this girl right now. It's just like I didn't even know what was going on with me.
I knew.
So I'm sitting there. You're driving. We're on our way to Walmart because I had to go buy some stuff from Walmart and
medicine and condoms, guys. We had to buy condoms.
Yeah.
Let's try to keep it PG-13, but we got to keep it real. It was 2 boxes of condoms.
Okay, Mario.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we yeah, back to me crying. I was crying. And like I said, it's just you've seen me cry so many times and it's just this time I just couldn't explain it. It's just and then we stopped by the gas station and then you just came over while the gas was pumping. You came over to my side of the door and I just held on to you. And I just like, I think that by that moment I had already calmed down and, I was able to talk about it. And I told you, it's a lot of emotions. I wasn't very specific with the emotions, but I did tell you like there's a lot of emotions going through my mind right now. And it just came out. I couldn't control it.
Yeah.
And then right after that, I just felt like a need to see my mom.
Yeah. Right.
And we went to Walmart. We bought what we needed to get. And then we came out of the store and I just told Mario, I was like, can you drop me off at my mom's? And he dropped me off at my mom's and I spent, the majority of the morning with my mom. I think I came back home like around 2. It was like 10:30 when you dropped me off. Yeah, it was funny because you dropped me off. I told you, oh, just leave me here for a little bit. Go vacuum my car because it needs to be vacuumed. Go home, vacuum my car, and then come right back for me. I'll be done by then. I'm just going to have like a coffee with her or something. Mm-hmm. By the time you did come back, you didn't even tell me that you were on the way back. And I didn't, tell you that I wanted to like stay a little longer. So we came out the house. Me and my mom I told my mom, I was like, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. And we were stepping out of her place. And then I see Mario outside. I'm like, oh shit, he never left. So then I go over to him. And I'm like, you were here the whole time? And then I even looked inside the car to see, because he's like, no, I went home. I'm like, did you vacuum the car? He's like, yeah. So I even looked inside to make sure. And yeah, it was very nice. Very, very clean. It was a mess. But yeah, and then I was like, oh, I had literally just texted you, like, we're going to go for a walk. And then you're like, you and your mom? And then I seen you, and oh shoot, I felt so bad like having to send you back home. But I was like, I have my mom's like waiting, and we talked about going.
Yeah, I didn't mind. I know you kind of needed that walk and that time alone with your mom. So I was like, that's fine. I'll just go home and what did I do? I don't know what I did.
You cleaned the fish tank?
No, I was going to. I ended up cleaning up the little shrimp tank. But I didn't do the big fish tank. I should have though, but yeah, just kind of about some time to go.
But yeah, I just I just right after that appointment, I just had like this unexplainable feeling to just spend time with my mom, and I did that, and then I even like, she's been wanting a Keurig, whatever. She's been wanting to. She says the machine that the rich people have. Like she cleans houses, so she sees it at those houses that she cleans, and she says like, oh, all the rich people have that. And I was like, okay, rich lady, let's get you one. So I got her one because I have one at home, and she always like wants to come over. She just uses me for my coffee. She comes over like, oh, can I come over? Yeah, but she really just wants my coffee. So she comes over for the coffee, and it's funny because that's what I'm like. I'm like, you're better off than me because I got mine used. Like Mario got me mine on Craigslist or OfferUp or something. He got mine's used, and you got a whole new one. Like I was straight out the box. So
with papers and all.
Like like everything all legit. So yeah, I got her one of those, and I just really felt like I needed to be with my mom, and I was, and when I came home, we went to get some food, and then we just came home.
Yep, we ate. We went to. We got huaraches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got some huaraches. We went to our kicking spot, our food eating view spot, over by Point Richmond. And then we just came home. We were going to watch some movies, and just spontaneously was like, hey.
No, not Point. We went by the marina. Yeah. By the Richmond Marina, not Point Richmond.
Oh, Harbor Way, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, by Harbor Way. We had our snowball.
Yeah, so we go there. We used to. We don't go there a lot anymore, but we used to. There was a point in our life, I guess, where we used to, that was kind of like our, I don't know, venting place, the place where we would go and have our conversations at. We would go grab some food. Aiden would be in the back seat. He was small, so he'd be sleeping. Sometimes it'd be like 10, 11, 12, and we would grab a bite and go park there, and we would just eat, and we would talk, and that was kind of like our little escape. We weren't always on our own. We lived with my mom for a while, and I don't know. I don't want to say too much about it, but me and my mom have struggled with our relationship, and that was just our little escape. Mm-hmm. And yeah. So we went there again. We used to go there so much.
Yeah. But remember, even like not even with food, we just kind of go kick it when I used to do closing shifts for McDonald's on Gilman. Right after work, we were like, hey, let's go to the spot, and go and talk. And that what we would do just after, getting off of work. You would pick me up. It was our
private place.
Yeah, we just go and like talk and look at the view. We can see the Bay Bridge at the time. Look at the water and talk. It was smoothing, relaxing, and therapeutic in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, we will be planning to have another baby.
Yeah.
It feels weird to say, it's just, our daughter's almost, 7. Our youngest is almost 7, and it'll be kind of like starting all over again because she's a little independent, and they spend time with us, but they also spend a lot of time with your mom.
Yeah.
She lives with us, and she takes care of them. She's been taking care of them since forever. Yeah. And they kind of they seek her a lot too because of your sister's daughter,
Ellie.
Yeah, so they seek they like that closeness, and they kind of that's one of the reasons I'm like, I'm just gonna have another baby so I can feel needed again. Like somebody's gonna love me around here, but I'm joking. The kids love us, but.
Yeah, because they're getting older. So Aiden, for example, he's more independent now. He's playing soccer around the house, like right now as we're speaking. You know, he has
just
a
kicking
Switch.
the ball,
Yeah.
just playing FIFA on his
on the Switch and not YouTube videos, you know, watching videos of soccer games. So he's more independent now, even away from my mom. He has on his own.
Like I want to say a year ago when we first moved into this house, he was like, you could not get that boy out of your mom's room.
No, he was stuck in there.
Yeah,
100%.
it's like I could not get him out of there. And like now it's like he spends all of his time in the living room. Like his living room is his place. Like they won't sleep in their room. They have their room. They have their bunk beds and their bunk bed in their room and all their stuff. But they won't go in there. I don't know why. I mean, at first they were sleeping with us for a while, and then they slowly started transitioning out of our room. And he sleeps in the living room, and Adi sleeps with your mom.
Yeah, and at first I couldn't figure out why he was sleeping in the living room and not in his room, but it's because in the living room it's close to the TV. You know, it's like he can get up in the morning right before school. He's very good with his sleep schedule. He goes to sleep pretty early so he can wake up early in the morning before he has to go.
He's like awake before any one of us.
Yeah, he's very, like, we were just talking about this yesterday, no?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's very, like, planned oriented. Like, he knows, like, okay, if I want to do something fun before my morning class, you know, my Zoom class, I have to wake up early. So I know I have to go to sleep early so I can wake up early. Sometimes when we have to go to work at 7, we have to get up.
He's already awake.
Yeah, he's awake. I'm like, God damn, dude.
So he's already awake. He's already playing FIFA or whatever he's playing on the Switch. Because he knows that if he wants to get some playtime, he's going to have to get up early.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even use an alarm.
No, he
just wakes up.
His body just tells him, like, hey, it's time to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like now I know why, because, you know, it's close to the TV. And, of course, our TV in our living room is a lot bigger than his TV in his room. So, you know, it's easy access. And then, Adi, she still sleeps with my mom, you know.
Yeah.
From time to time, she'll sneak into our room. And
only when she fights with Eliana or, you know, or Suhei or something, she'll come crying over here like, oh, they're being mean to me. Okay, let's go to sleep. Yeah. And she sleeps with us.
Yeah. So now Graciela needs a baby to keep her company.
What about you?
Or I need a baby for a different reason, not just to keep it. It's lovely to think about having a baby. You know, it's kind of when we had Pookie. I remember he was super small. Mm-hmm. You know, he was like tiny. And the premature outfits that we had for him, they were big.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty short people. So we're pretty short people.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
you're a shorty.
I'm pretty tall.
You're a shorty, so
a whopping 5'8".
Yeah, so we're short people, so I don't expect us to have, like, you know, 8-pound babies, but both of our, I mean, I think it also has to do with the fact that I was taking care of myself. We have pretty tiny kids. Yeah. I think Aiden was like a little over 5 pounds, and Adi was almost 6 pounds. She was a little heavier than him. Yeah. She was almost 6 pounds, but they both fit into premature clothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, born. Our parents are, well, at least our moms are pretty short.
Yeah.
Like right now, as we're speaking, Aiden's taller than my mom.
Yeah.
And he's about to be 10 years old. Mm-hmm. You know, and my dad wasn't huge. He's maybe
like the only tall person in this factor is my dad. My dad is probably like close to 6 feet tall.
Almost that close.
Yeah, he's the only tall one. But I mean, it's like, you know, out of all these short people,
where are they gonna get the height?
Yeah. So, you know, they're, you know, pretty short.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I was saying, is like I'm excited because just like reminiscing on Aiden, how tiny he was, you know, how it was to hold him as a baby is just, you know, it kind of makes me feel, you know, a certain way. It makes me feel, how can you say this? It makes me feel nice, you know, it makes me feel like very warm inside. So it's just kind of thinking about that, you know.
For me, it's like, you know, the fact that, you know, like I said, wanting to be needed again. I breastfed both of my kids. So especially Adi, like Aiden, it was like, we went between formula and breast milk because I struggled with breastfeeding him. But with Adi, she was fully breastfed, and I want that connection again. Yeah. Like I want, you know, when we have another baby, I plan to breastfeed again, and I loved that connection. Like that was so beautiful to me.
And with Aiden, remember Pookie, you struggled with him a lot, so you would switch it back and forth. And then when he was fully attached, you didn't want to let it go.
Oh yeah, he didn't let it go until I was pregnant with Ari.
When you found out.
Yeah, when I found out, and it's funny because like old, wives' tales, I guess you could call it. That your kid, if you have a kid and then you get pregnant, your kid, if your kid is like crying a lot, your kid, is sensing that there's like something coming, It's like I remember your mom telling me because he got sick. He got diarrhea and he was vomiting or whatever. And your mom was like, I think your milk isn't good anymore. I think you're pregnant. And I was like, I don't think so. I don't think I'm pregnant. And then, sure enough, like after that, I had missed my period and I took a pregnancy test and I was pregnant. But yeah, so it's like really funny that, that happened. Shoot, I lost my train of thought.
But remember how, I mean, if you remember, throw it back in there, but remember how you got him off the breastfeeding?
Oh yeah, that's what
that was it was
oh
cute.
yeah, I put mustard.
You put mustard, and I remember we were both there like, okay, let's try mustard. He put on mustard and he tries it and his face is like, yuck.
That was it?
Yeah,
that's
it's like
all
yuck.
it took?
And he did not touch it once again. Yeah. And I remember each and every time after that you would show him like, what do you want to feed? He's like, yuck. It's like, it just happened. Yeah. And remember we tried to do the same thing with Adi?
Yeah, and she
did not care.
She didn't care. She's like, I will go right. I don't care. Yeah. That the taste goes away.
Yeah, for real. Always been stubborn. Always has been stubborn. And
how did she stop?
She just stopped eventually.
I think even slowly. Yeah. How old was she? Do you remember?
She was approximately 2 years old. No.
Oh, I think she was like 3. Maybe
almost. Yeah. 4. I know she was 2 for sure. Mm-hmm. I want to say it was mostly close to 3 years old. She was already walking around and saying big words.
Yeah. I don't know. Did I ever get asked like, when are you gonna stop?
Yeah, a few times. But how what also helped is that she started getting into like not sippy cups. Like that never worked. It was like regular cups, like regular cups, no lids, and just started drinking a lot of milk. And she still drinks a lot of milk. That's her go-to right now. Like if there's water, soda, or milk, she's gonna go for milk most likely. But that's kind of how we managed to get her out. Just like an adult, just drink your cup. And I think she liked that, and that's how she drifted off, into not wanting it anymore. Yeah, but I think with Pookie it was cute. Like his face is like yuck.
He's like, I don't want that. That's disgusting.
Nope. Yeah. Don't bring that next to me. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
So yeah.
So we almost did not make the podcast yesterday because you're feeling like very lonely and not lonely, very sad and emotional. So I was like, the podcast wasn't even in my mind.
I don't think I was sad. I think it was just a lot of mixed emotions.
Yeah, you were emotional.
And I think I want to thank you for being respectful. Like you're so excited, you're so eager to do it, and I was kind of like, no, I don't know. Maybe next week. I don't know. We'll do it. We'll eventually do it. And, you let me make that decision. And I was just laying there. I was like, okay. I think you had given up. Like, you didn't even beg me or anything. No, you didn't even, like, you probably, like, you're like, okay, everything's ready whenever you're ready. And I just said, you know what? You want to record an episode today? Yeah. You want to do it today? And then you're just, okay. Yeah. Really? All right. And you started setting everything up and, you let me decide if I was feeling okay, if I was okay to do it. And I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the podcast, the episode, it wasn't even, I know it was both our days off and we kind of had talked about on our day off. Not that specifically yesterday, but on a day off, so this whole thing, you being very emotional and it was not even in my head. So it was like it wasn't even an option, but you said, hey, why you want to make it? Right off the bat, I knew you were kind of ready to do it. So I was like, yeah, let me get up. Let's start hooking things up. And yeah, we did it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've been doing this for like 51 minutes. So
yeah.
I think That's a pretty good conversation right there.
Yeah, you don't want to make it too long because you don't want to, extend it more.
I don't want to bore anyone.
Yeah, our 4 followers. But yeah, so pretty much this was all based on pregnancy. Subject was pregnancy. Birth control / birth control, and a brief background story and little, reminiscence.
It's just that's what happens. We get into it. We just on our regular conversations, we just get into it and we just talk about. We go back and forth between what happened then and what happens now, and just it's kind of a mixture. But so I'm glad we kind of stay on the topic.
Yeah, that's the reason I wanted to touch on at least make I
didn't need an index card.
I know, and we forgot about it. You're natural at this now.
Stop it.
Yeah, but so hopefully when this drops, we'll have news or not. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. See, that's the part. It's just going back to the condoms that we bought.
Oh, yeah, how could you forget that? How could you forget that?
Going back to the condoms, it's so funny because we were joking about it, and we're like, it's like we're kids all over again.
Oh my god, we're teenagers using condoms. All right.
It's like we're kids all over again when oh
my god, I hope my parents don't catch me.
Stop. But so back to the condoms. For a while we decided we wanted to go straight into it, take it off and just get pregnant.
Don't hand me.
But it's just with the way I was feeling yesterday, I was just let's wait a little bit. Let's see
how you're feeling,
how I feel. Let's talk about it. Because, there's other people involved. It's just us involved in, making the kid. But there's other people involved. We have my mom who, seems very excited about, me having more kids. She's like, oh, you're going to give me this kid. Okay, Mom, whatever. And your mom, who's always been super supportive and taking care of our kids and stuff. And I just want to make sure that, if we're going to bring another one, that, if everyone's comfortable with the idea, if we want it, we can make that decision. But, I also, anybody that supports us, our moms that support us, just want to make sure that they understand and they're comfortable with the idea. And, your mom's the one that takes care of our kids. So, she's comfortable with starting all over. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And they're both really excited. I know your mom kind of expressed to you, I want this one to be mine. And then my mom was like, she
clapped when we woke up and we're on our way to the clinic. And we told her, oh, we're going to go and she's getting her ID removed. She clapped. She was super excited.
Yeah, that's nice, to know that both our parents.
To get that support.
Yeah. It is. But so, your mom is excited. My mom is excited. So we know that there's going to be more than plenty of love, going around. Just our love, mine and yours, is already a lot. Having grandma love, from both parts is, I think, they won't, lack love for sure.
Of course not.
Yeah. But it's also the babysitting part, that's something that, of course, we're both full-time, leaders in our career, work. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think this is a good point to stop for today.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we'll have this posted soon, and we should be recording a couple more right before our intro drops, on all major podcast broadcasting. So yeah, hopefully we have a few more lined up.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for tuning in, and we are out.